right. I look like I'm crazy. Sweet. So I've been kind of out of commission for 3 weeks. Well, oh god, my speech is still stupid. Anyway, I recently had surgery, so haha, gotta love it. Gotta love exploding lady parts. I love it. So anyway, so yeah, I've been out of commission for 3 weeks. I'm still on the recovery path. I'm a lot better starting this week, like way better. But anyway, so last night my mom and I went to go see Wonder Woman. So that's how much strength I had. Was I was actually able to finally get up. You could probably see some eyebrows. Put on some pants and like an actual shirt, because I was not really wearing real shirts for a while. Pants, put on my glasses that I haven't worn in the 3 weeks, which was weird to be like, oh my god, is that what things look like in focus? Oh my god, I was on so many painkillers. Anyway, so yeah, finally had enough energy to go see Wonder Woman. And at first we were actually gonna go on Saturday, but I was in so much pain that like by the time I was fine enough, to like leave the house, I was just like, Mom, let's just go grocery shopping. It's also Saturday night and I didn't want to be like in pain, low energy, deal with fuck off, like, annoying fans. So I was just like, let's do that another day. Which is actually great that we went Sunday, because the crowd wasn't so big. And plus, we're going to the movies in Jersey, so, there's so many more theaters, and it's not like we're in Manhattan. So, anyway, the movie was shown, I think, IMAX 3D, which that theater, it doesn't have real IMAX. Regular 3D, fuck that shit. It's a DC movie. DC movies do not look good in 3D. And then obviously regular standard 2D. And I was like, no, I'm gonna do standard 2D also. Like, I don't know if I can do 3D right now with all this stuff. So we got to the theater a little bit on the early side. Well, early, as in to the showing one to go see. Yeah, the showing wasn't until 6:45 when we got there around 4:30, and like, excuse me. So I was like, alright, bought the tickets and I'm just gonna sit here. I just sat there while my mom, I love her, but I think we've switched places now that my mom is the child and I'm the adult. Because we'll be sitting there and she'll just be like, Joe, what's that? Like looking at ads and stuff, like, what's that? What's that? What does that say? While I'm sitting there like, could you just sit still and like, shut the fuck up? And then she'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go see if I want to get a snack. And I'm like, alright. And then she'll come back. It's expensive. And she'll sit back down. I love my mother, but like I said, there's some part where we switch places. The movie wasn't bad. Like, the movie was, like, pretty decent. In all honesty, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed Wonder Woman. Which I'm glad, because, I even said in, like, my trailer reaction videos where I was just like, Wonder Woman does look more interesting than Justice League. And it's still kind of true, because they did play a Justice League trailer before the movie, and I was still kind of like, oh, But yeah, like, I think also it's because, a lot of the trailer was like, hey, stuff happens during the daytime. It's not just, at night, and it's just kind of like, it's kind of raining, it's kind of not. I don't know what's fucking going on. There's one part in the third act where it was doing that, where it was like, okay, we're gonna have a fight scene, and it's like kind of getting cloudy, it's smoky. I was like, oh, come on, man, you guys were so good about not doing that. And then it quickly was just like, it did its job. Like, it made sense why it was kind of doing that, and that quickly came and went. It wasn't just like that whole third act was that, which would have just, that would have been me. But like I said, I did enjoy it. I like what the director did. Like, there were times where you could tell this was written by Zack Snyder for reasons, and I'm really glad the director, like, was kind of like, all right, yeah, there's obviously, like, there's probably gonna be a love scene here, you know, because there's a part where, like, you know, Chris Pine just, like, says goodnight to her in her room, and he's about to leave, but then she kind of, like, gives him that bedroom eyes kind of thing, and then he just, like, closes the door, like, you know, behind him, and they just kind of give each other glances, start to smooch, and then it cuts to, like, oh, look, you see, like, it's like a wide shot outside, you see, like, the window with their silhouettes, and then you go to the next morning, which is fine, because it's like, you can just assume they either made out, touch booty holes. Why did I say that? That's actually not what I was gonna say. Anyway, or they fucked. But you know what? Whatever your imagination is, you feel like they fucked, whatever, you know? You feel like they touched booty holes. That's what he did. But you know, if it was written and directed by Zack Snyder, it would have been like a 15-minute thing of them, like, getting undressed, like, you know, with light. It's like, it's like, oh, it's side boob, but you have to make sure to see a little bit of that nipple, you know, and then it's like, oh, wait, hold on, slow motion sex scene, thrusting, would have just been like that, and it's just like, you know, anyway, but I'm glad, like, you know, the director was like, it's just gonna be like, you know, we're gonna go. There's a lot of parts in the movie that were pretty campy and kind of like, it was funny, you know, it wasn't just like, ha ha ha, move on with this, you know, it was, like, pretty funny. Like, I feel like this movie is, like, you have the kind of, like, innocent, unawareness of Thor when Thor went from Asgard, you know, to Earth, and then you got, like, the war elements, like in Captain America, the First Avenger, did I say adventure? Painkillers, you know what I said, anyway, yeah, like Thor and Captain America, like their first movies, and, you know, obviously well, duh, because Wonder Woman Diana, she is the main character, but you found yourself, like, you know, obviously on her side because she's a very compassionate person, you know? She wants to, you know, fight the evil, fight the machines, she wants... I was gonna say, I'm like, that shit went off, like, for 20 minutes before I hit record. Anyway. But yeah, she's very compassionate, you know, she wants, like I said, fight the machines. She, you know, she sees a baby, and she's like, oh my god, a baby, you know? Like, she sees, like, helpless people, and she's like, no, I have to, like, do something. I can't just not do something. And you're like, fuck yeah! Oh, God. You're on her side for a good majority. Well, you're on her side for, like, all of the movie, because it's like, you totally get where she's coming from. As kind of derpy things are, you know, where it's like... like, derpy things as in, like, they get out of, like, the store, and she's in her, like, regular human outfit, and she has her sword and shield, she's, like, going down the stairs, and you're like... it's a really good comedic moment, and it also made me think of, like, you know, when cosplayers go to dinner, like, after a convention, like, right after the con, you're like, oh, you know, my costume's mobile enough, let's go have dinner, you know. Very few of my costumes I can actually go and have dinner right afterwards. I think it's probably just Street Fighter and X-Men. The little montage of her trying on clothes, it was funny. I'm glad there wasn't, like, a stupid, like... There was, like, you know, like, obviously, like, a score behind it, but I'm glad there wasn't just randomly some anachronistic music thrown in there, like, Girls Just Want to Have Fun thrown into that, because I'd just be like, what? You know, because, of course, you see in the trailer where she's on, like, with the dress, and she's trying to do some kicks. There's one part where there's a more, like, slender, like, pencil... like, long pencil skirt she has on, and she goes to kick, and it rips, and that noise startled my mom. She's like, oh! I knew it was coming, but it was a loud, like, like, that's like you ripped, like, a car seat, you know, upholstery kind of sound. But yeah, so, like, you know, parts where she's a little bit confuzzulated about things. You know, it was very cute. You know, like I said, it's kind of like Thor when he was, like, drinking and then he's like, Psh, I will have another, you know? It's very, like, you know, it's very sweet. It's very, you know, genuine, that's the word. You can see, like, that is who she is, you know? Even when, like, they're heading out, to the front lines, and they're about to go to, like, on the train, and the guy on the platform is, like, selling ice cream. He's like, ma'am, do you want one? And she's like, okay, and so Chris Pine pays, and then she tastes it, and she goes, oh my god, she was pretty much like, you should be very proud, and it's like, you can't help but smile at it. Also, ice cream is amazing, you know, so it's like, I get it, if you've never had ice cream before, then you have it, you're like, the fuck, you know, so, I totally get it, and it was great. Like, the movie is bookended, with, like, present time, you know, with her and her fucking open back dresses. Like, I can't help but laugh at it, since, like, they started that off with fucking Batman v Superman shit, with her and her fucking open, like, back dresses. Like, I get it. She's very fit. But, like, she works in the Louvre. Is that what someone said? Oh my god. When the new French president was trying to be elected, Daily Show had, like, a compilation of all the people trying, like, not being able to say Macron correctly. So they're like, Macron, la da da. And one guy was, like, standing outside the Louvre, and I was like, oh my god, America. Anyway, so she works at, like, the Louvre for reasons. And then it's like, you see, like, an armored truck. It says, like, Wayne Enterprises. I'm like, the fuck? You know, and I'm like, I guess, you know, Wayne Enterprises is a huge conglomerate of shit and stuff, so I can see how, you know, like, he would be international. And then it's like, they come in with the case, and it's like the old, like, glass silver plate of the photograph that he found. And it's like, how were you alive back in World War I? That's Bruce Wayne's voice. Oh my god! Why? Why does he sound like that? Anyway, so it's bookended with that, where, like, you know, her having that voiceover, like, you know, I used to want to save the world, but, you know, fuck mankind, have you seen yourselves? Anyway, so, you know, it's the whole, like, you see her backstory, and how they had, like, you know, like, her land. I think that was, I like how they showed it. God, it was such a beautiful location. That must have been, I was gonna say somewhere, but I'm like, no, that's where Star Wars was. And I was like, no, Ireland and Iceland's where Star Wars gets a shit. That was probably somewhere else. Anyway, where it was filmed was, you know, absolutely gorgeous and all that stuff. And I loved how they had, like obviously, like, you know, in all honesty, I understand. If you're gonna be like Amazonian woman, you're not gonna be, like, too much on the chunky side like me. Although I have lost a lot of weight since surgery. I guess if I toned up a little bit more. But, like, I love how, like, a lot of the women were much thicker. Although, you know, that was, like, the biggest, discussion when she was cast, is that, you know, she's not thick enough, and it was someone else. And I was like, by the time she was casted, I was already like, Ben Affleck, Batman. Because my anger, I was like, oh my god, Ben Affleck, Batman, why? So when she was casted, I was like, oh, who cares anymore? But now I'm just like, you know, Affleck, you did your best. And then, you know, she did fine. She did fine. And I know definitely, like, I could see why they casted her. One, mainly because she's fucking tall as shit. Because at Comic-Con, when they had, like, the costumes and all that stuff, I'm like, bitch is tall. That, and also, like, I can see why, like, her line delivery and all that stuff. Like, she is a pretty lady, but I understand that, like, obviously they didn't want to get someone, like, too gorgeous, which sounds kind of weird. Whatchamacallit. Anyway, that aside. But I love that, you know, with the fucking Amazonian women, like, I loved how, like, they were just like, I love that they also had great, beautiful black women, too, which made me so happy. I was like, please don't only just be fucking white women. You know, like, I didn't really see any Latin women or Asian women, but you know what? Just baby steps, you know. They had the one, like, thick black woman with the dreads and stuff, and I was like, fuck yeah, she was fucking amazing, you know. And I liked how, you know, they were all armored up, and armored women just boner, you know. Especially the part where like Chris Pine ends up in the island, and there was like that little mermaid moment, you know, where he's like passed out in the water, and she's like looking at him like, I don't know when, I don't know how. So, and then he wakes up, he's like, oh shit, fuck, hey bitch, and she's like, you're a man. He's like, I'm Chris Pine with gorgeous blue eyes. Hi, you know. Anyway, when they had that moment, and then all the goddamn men ruining it all. This movie is feminist propaganda, just like how Mad Max Fury Road is. I really wouldn't be surprised if someone said that. Anyway, so when they came in, and the women were all on horseback, and they had bows and arrows and swords, and they were just charging the men, and I was like, fuck yeah, fuck yeah. What's that? I think it's from Family Guy or American Dad, where it's like the very effeminate character, and he's like, like clapping and just crying. That was me during that scene. And holy fuck, Robin Wright looks so fucking awesome. Like, I know when they showed like promo shots of like, you know, like, oh, here's like the other people we casted, I was like, Robin Wright. But seriously, you know, fucking Princess Bride is such an ass kicker. It's, oh my god, it was so cool. No surprise that her character would have to like die, because it's one of those kind of characters for reasons, and how else would she get her, you know, thingy. Like I said, with the campiness of the movie, like the little kind of awkward banter between Diana and Steve back and forth was very cute. It's like, again, like very innocent and all that stuff. I did like the part, they did have it in like the initial trailer where the woman's like, oh yeah, I'm his secretary. She's like, oh, what's a secretary? She's like, oh, I just do everything he says. And she's like, oh yeah, we have that. It's called slavery. I love her delivery on the word slavery, because she was just like, she was like not even like kidding about that. She's like, it's called slavery. Oh man, the audience was dying over that, and I was just like, whew. They got kind of real with that shit a couple times, where there was this guy called the Chief, who was a Native American, and he was helping them get to the front lines along with like a Scottish dude and a French dude. And the Chief was just like, yeah, you know, like when people took my land, took over my land, and she's like, oh, what people was that? And she pointed to like a sleeping Chris Pine, like his people, and I was like, and like the theater was a lot of white people, because it's Jersey, so they were just like, ha. But of course, me, just like when I went to go see Django Unchained in like the Upper East Side, I was cracking up. She's like, oh, you know, white people, and I was like, woo! Yeah, white people, fuck off! Woo! Yeah. Oh shit, my window's open. Hope no one heard that outside. My new neighbors are white, and they be looking at me weird. Anyway, so, and that was a good experience watching Django Unchained in Upper East Side. They were just like, it's got nervous laughter, and I was like, it's women on slave over! Anyway, too many painkillers. So anyway, like I said, yeah, I did enjoy that. I'm glad, can't speak. I'm glad that there's a fight scene. There's a fight scene that was in the trailer that's like in like this kind of like, there's like this kind of room and stuff. It's once they get past the no man's land. I'll actually get to that in a second. And in the trailer, it does like they show like a really bad like wire trick kind of thing. And it reminded me of like Charlie's Angels kind of shit with like Drew Barrymore, you know, where it's like, she goes to like, where Drew Barrymore goes to jump, and she's like, oh, kick, wow. Like, she doesn't even at least bend her knees to like fake it. She just goes, wow, wow, like that. In the trailer where she goes to kick, and instead of just being like standing here, whoosh, like that. She goes, ah, and then it like just guides her like around the room like, wow, kick. And I'm like, that's not, I don't care how super strength, all that, that's not plausible. I'm glad in the final cut they didn't, or I guess this theatrical cut, they didn't have that, because I remember seeing that in the trailer and being just like, oh, okay, everything was cool except for that one part where she just kind of slides a kick, you know, around like that. Yeah, just, there was a couple parts of like tons of defenestration, not tons, because it's not the Fantastic Four movies. There's like 2 to 3 times, you know, where she just busts through, and another time she busts through the window, fights a bunch of fuckers, and then she busts a dude out the, like, window, and she's, like, on top of the rooftop running and stuff. But there was that really, there was, like, that kind of pivotal moment in the movie where they're in the trenches, and you know, there's, like, a woman saying, like, my village over there, you know, like, the Germans. And then she's like, no, I have to do this. Everyone, compassion, you know, all that stuff. And they're like, he's like, you can't go over there, motherfucker, like, it's no man's land, that, like, blah, blah, blah. And she had her Aowen moment, and she's like, but I am no man, motherfucker. Actually, that would have been great if she, no, I'm kidding. Where, like, she turns around and, like, she pulls, like, the pin out of her hair, does a weird, quick little shake. It kind of lingered on the back of her head just a little too long there. Anyway, she lingered back her head, bam, she had the thing on, which I found funny that she had the thing on, but she didn't have this part on. Anyway, but she had the thing on, and all of a sudden she's just like, anyway, quickly disrobe. Quickly disrobing is something in this movie. Quickly disrobe. She climbs up the ladder, and you see in the trailer, he's like, Diana! And she gets up there, and she's just like, what, bitch? Shwing! Shwing! And that's when, like, the kind of awesome stuff happens, but also the funny CGI stuff happens, where, like, I know, like, the shitty thing when it comes to shooting scenes like this is that you usually tell an actor to run in place and then to do like an initial few shots. So she's running in place and she's like, fwing, fwing. And it's kind of obvious when they're running in place. And then it's like the next scene she's actually running. So it's kind of, it goes from like, fwing, fwing to actually like, foop, foop, like that. I think they did that in like Constantine or something, which that's a reference. You see Keanu Reeves like, yeah, I'm totally running in place in hell right now. Okay, yeah, no, now I'm running. That stuff always is so weird. Anyway, but, you know, it was cool. You see her just, like, dodging all that shit. It was great. Sparkles, sparkles, you know. And then when the freaking big gun comes out and she's all, like, with the shield and her kneecaps and shit, and she's just like, fuck! And then, like, the guys come from, like, both sides, and they're like, brrr. And when she, like, finally gets this, she, like, breaks the gun, because she's like, fuck this shit! You know, gets to the little village. Of course, everyone, you know, not everyone, but, like, all the people are saved. Yeah, so then it's, like, that scene you see in the trailer, where she has, like, that blue dress with her sword on the back. I don't know if I mentioned that in the trailer reaction where I was like, oh yeah, because I remember just seeing backless dress again and I was like, fucking hell. But her sword was on, like, you know, on her back. And in the theater when it's revealed, people in the theater were like, oh shit. Because they thought, like, you know, okay, I'll just have my dress, you know, okay, I'll have my gauntlets, but it looks like accessories. I don't have the thing, it's fine. But then it's like, she's got the sword on her back. Everyone's like, oh shit. I was like, damn, yeah, I'm so excited. But obviously it was cool. Like, I'm gonna go in to, you know, the Met Gala. Yeah, sword on my back, don't fuck with me. The fuck was that? Oh god, burps. You know, it was funny because, like, for her to get in there, there was, like, a lady who was about her height, and it was kind of cute because she just walks up to her, stands next to her kind of like this, and it was, like, so cute. And it was just like, huh? And then, you know, she shows up in that dress, and then at one part, you know, where she's upset, she rides away on a horse, and all of a sudden you just see, like, the blue dress just fly off, and she's in her Wonder Woman thing again, galloping away, yada yada. But yeah, like I said, I enjoyed Wonder Woman, you know, like, I could be a dick and, like, nitpick the fuck out of it, but it wasn't Batman versus Superman. There were so many things that I had such an issue with. Because at least this one you could tell they cared. You know, even the fucking visual department, like the fucking, you know, yeah, the fucking, you know, people handling After Effects and stuff, they actually cared. Like I said, even like the part at the nighttime fucking battle shit, like at least like it didn't last too long where it was too dark and too much shit happening, you know, and all that stuff. Like they actually, like I said, they did care. My God, there's like David Lynch hair happening here. All right, oh my God. And it's like, it did, yes, like I said, I could get all nitpicky, but it did get kind of cheesy to me, where it was just like, you know, you're, like, you are hateful, but, like, love conquers all, so, like, I'm fighting for love, and she, you know, kills a motherfucker, and it's like, part of me is like, oh, it's always about love, fuck, like, part of me was like, the other part of me was like, well... God, it's true. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, but anyway, yeah, like I said, I enjoyed it. It was a fun movie to sit through. It didn't feel that long. There was one part where I just, like, said to myself, I'm like, I guess it's cue to third act music now, you know, you know, it was, what, almost 2.5 hours? It was, like, 2 hours and 20 minutes or something like that. It didn't feel that long. Fucking Batman vs. Superman felt like forever. You know, like, it was enjoyable and all that shit. Let me grab my phone for trailers and all that. Like I said, I enjoyed it. I recommend it. I saw it in 2D, like I said, like, with the parts where it's, like, really dark and how it's filmed and stuff. I really don't see 3D really working too well. Like, the couple parts... Really, the main parts that you'd be like, oh, 3D, was literally that one scene where she's on No Man's Land and it's fucking sparkle kind of shit happening. Onto trailers. So the first one was Valeria. I think that's a Luc Besson based on graphic novel. Dane DeHaan. Was it Cara, whatever her name is, who played, the fuck it is, the fuck's her name in Suicide Squad? Anyway, it's that whole thing that it looks CGI'd as fuck. I really don't have much of an opinion on it. It looks alright. Next thing is Glass Castle. That seems like some, like, movies, like, that's the gesture for, like, someone, more people need Oscars. Then right after that was Transformers, and it's like, it looks dumb, of course. I'm most likely gonna see it. It's coming out at the end of this month, which is surprising, because usually it comes out during July 4th weekend. And I'm so worried about the running time for this movie, because I'm afraid it's gonna be like 7 hours long, because these movies go on for like 2.5, almost 3 hours, and it's like, oh my god. Anyway, after that is Atomic Blonde, and oh yes, I can't wait for that, because Charlize Theron action film shit, fuck yeah, you know, it's like, this is Furiosa, you know. After that was Spider-Man. Then after that is Idris. I just wrote Idris Elba. Was it like the mountain between us or something? I don't know. It's him and Kate Winslet. They go on like a plane and they crash and shit happens. And there's a dog. Hopefully the dog doesn't die. But anyway, it's another one of those like, I'm acting kind of movies. After that is Blade Runner 2049. Making that face. It's a good face. Because I really like that director. I like that, you know, it's not just like a full remake. Obviously, it's a sequel to it. It's just the cinematography looks beautiful. But Jared Leto. I remember when they released like a slightly shorter trailer than this one, and someone on like my Tumblr feed was like, Jared Leto in my Blade Runner movie. It's like, I know. But probably years ago, if he didn't do Suicide Squad, I'd be like, oh yeah, Jared Leto's a pretty decent actor. Now I'm just like, I don't fucking know anymore. And then of course, last but not least, or probably is the least, is Justice League movie. Well, it's alright. It's pretty much what you've seen before. Of course, Aquaman looks awesome because it's fucking Jason Momoa, and it's fucking Jason Momoa. Cyborg looks kind of cool. I hope they make him cool. I hope they. It sounds dumb. I hope they let him say "booyah" just because. The Flash, you know, I do like that actor. It took a while for him to warm up, like for me to warm up to him. Affleck, you know, it looks all right. I don't know. I don't know what the central plot is trying to be, but alright. It comes out around my birthday, so I don't know. But anyway, go see Wonder Woman. I don't know if any of this made sense. I'm still writing off of some painkillers, so who knows what I'm gonna say. Anyway,